right, we are at Knoxlyn Ridge house. This is an old house.
Yeah, it was just down the road here, a few hundred yards, where the first shots of the Battle of Gettysburg started. This is where the Confederates and the Union Army clashed for the very first moments of the battle. It ended up working its way into the town and then past the town on the other side of the town on the third day, when, of course, Pickett's charge basically ended the battle.
So the 18th Division of Artillery, North Carolina, that's who was here and took over the house, and also the field that's beside us the first day of battle. One thing is that we talked about was the cut, which that is where the railroad tracks are now. They had just cut them out 2 years, he said, prior, but they hadn't laid track yet. Some of the North Carolina boys thought that they were going to take that. They got caught, you might as well say a valley, because they were down in the cut, and not many of them came back.
Yeah, so there's claims of a little girl, Rosie, that passed away, and also a gentleman by the name of Tim, who passed away and was here a couple days before they found him, and also a couple, a husband and wife that passed away. Rosie's room was right up there, and then, you know, the husband and wife passed away not at the same time, a few days apart, or a little time apart, and they were right in that area.
One of the interesting things about the husband and wife, and we don't have their names, but it's reported that the husband was an alcoholic and abused the wife. And when they found the wife dead, she was at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, there was fishy.
And there was suspicion that he may have had something to do with it. When they found her, he was out in back of the house drunk. I believe he was arrested. I believe he actually served time. And when he came back, he died shortly after.
So it wasn't a loving relationship.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's head and check this out. All right. Of course, we got a lot of contamination with that road being right there.
So I think it's important to note that one of the reasons we're here is that the most recent owners had tenants trying to stay here, trying to rent this from them.
That's right.
And a series of tenants moved in and then quickly moved out because of things they were experiencing in here. Shadows, footsteps, voices, all of that stuff was significant enough that these tenants wouldn't stay. And that was a series of tenants, not just one set of tenants. Yeah. So that was one of the reasons we were asked to come here.
It's not a big house by any means.
Kitchen area was an addition later on, I believe, in the 1940s. I think we were told. But that's not original.
No, makes sense. Well, yeah, because you can tell that this is a main support beam wall. So this was probably the exterior of the house at one point. I went floppy.
What just happened?
I went floppy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you got such...
I lost my firmness.
You went flaccid.
Never happened before. Getting old sucks.
There's pills for that.
Yeah. Here they claim shadows that come out of that closet area all the time, right?
This room also had a death that we didn't mention yet. There was a tenant named John who had a respiratory disease. I guess it was called white lung disease as opposed to black lung disease. And I think the only difference is he was a welder, and something he was inhaling from his welding job is what made his lungs become deteriorated and eventually kill him. But he died in this room from that illness.
And he moves in a gentleman named John, who was a family friend who had white lung disease. He was a welder, and I looked it up too. I mean, it just seems like it's the same as like black lung disease, except a different, I guess you're taking in a different, inhaling something different. And they had to move him from upstairs down to the room beside us. And once they did that, it wasn't long after that. He was just getting worse. And he passes away, you know, with family around him and stuff like that here.
And this was Rosie's room. And they say that these two dolls here came from the orphanage, the Gettysburg orphanage.
Right.
So, and they claim that she plays with the toys. She plays with people who come here, other kids. I don't know why people ever thought these things were a good idea.
Clowns.
Clowns.
I know.
God, I don't like them. Rosie, my name's Jason. This is my friend Jim and John. We hear that you like to talk to people and play with the toys in here. Your voices. You heard it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it sounded like it came from outside, but nobody's there.
Well, there's no sidewalk or anything here.
No,
It's not a road that people are walking on. And if they're not around those businesses, then can't imagine there's anybody around here.
We'd really like to talk with you.
Rosie, do you like to play with other children here? There have been some that lived here that have talked about playing with you. Can you show us how you play with the toys with the other children? I'm going to roll the ball. Can you roll it back to me? Can you roll it back?
I don't think anything in this house is actually level, though.
Yeah,
So, like,
certainly true.
giving it a little touch.
Of course, if I was a little girl and I saw three big guys standing in my bedroom, I'd probably be quiet too.
True story.
There was just a noise downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think as if somebody stepped on a wooden board.
You know what's up?
Well, it was just a noise that came from downstairs as if somebody like stepped on a wooden board and it creaked. Your voice. Check out that room, yes. This is a very tiny house.
It is really small.
I mean, pretty much, we have the bathroom in the attic now. Were there a lot of reports in the basement, though?
No.
No.
And it's like 4 feet tall.
All right, let's go check out the attic.
So one thing that Andy had said was that he did an investigation. I think at Selma Mansion, and he had an experience there where it was loud knocking. And then he came here the next night, did an investigation here, and he had the exact same knocking happen to him. I wonder if John and I sit like we were sitting last night to see if something about this house will, brings it from another location or something like Andy experienced.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory because that was intense and it just happened. It was
And
probably the last thing that we experienced.
Yeah, it was a great experience, and it was at the Oler House investigation that we did. So if you haven't seen that investigation, we had quite an experience there. So, but it was just happened to us, so maybe we should try that too.
I agree.
Check out the attic.
Oh, it is pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is where carved their name up here too.
Oh, wow. Does it have a year?
1924.
Oh, cool.
JF Crates.
Oh, what was that? Heard that.
Yeah,
What was it? What? I didn't hear anything.
like knocking.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? Heard that.
Yeah,
What was it? What? I didn't hear anything.
like knocking.
Yeah. Oh, what was that? Heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best option is, we can do a scent shift. Yeah, and, it's probably do one in Rosie's room. And then we can all take a floor and see what happens. It's a really small place.
Yeah.
We're going to be on top of each other here. What do you think?
I think those are both good ideas, and I do still want to do just John and I trying to recreate what happened last night here,
Okay.
just to see.
All right. While you guys are doing that, I'll sit down on the first floor.
Okay.
So. All right. We got multiple cameras set up here. We're at the Knoxlyn Ridge house, just in Gettysburg area. A lot of deaths reported in this property.
This house sits on the land. The house was here at the time, but this whole land surrounding this house was where the first shots of the Battle of Gettysburg were fired.
Just like 300 yards from here.
Yeah, just a couple hundred yards from here.
So where we are is we're at Knoxland. We're on Knoxlyn Ridge outside of Gettysburg. We're roughly about 200 yards this side of where the first shot of Gettysburg was taken, about 2 miles from the square here in town.
The Union cavalry was coming down this road, and they ran it. They did not know the Confederates were in the area, and they ran into some Confederate infantry, and that's how the battle started, right down here. So they fought right through this land. But not only that, obviously Gettysburg known for the Civil War history, but there's also reports that during the French and Indian War, there was activity here from the Native Americans.
Yep. So we do know that I have found in some research revolutionary ties to this place. When they had the French-American War, that some of them came across through here. But also Gettysburg, a lot of people don't know this fact, but Gettysburg was it was an area that was actually fought over quite a bit by the Native Americans. They found arrowheads out here. Just a couple weeks ago, they found some. So we know Native American ties as well. But Chambersburg Pike at that time is right, behind me. Anybody and everybody that fought, came through here, would have been right by the property, if nothing else.
So, and here on the table, we've got a bunch of different things. We've got bullets, very similar to the ones that would be used.
Those are many, yeah.
Yep. We've got belt buckles. We've got different things. Equipment-wise, we have the REM pot. Well, we also have the gun.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a I don't know. You think this is even a real musket?
Yeah, it's just busted up because I have one.
It's
like
certainly not. I don't think it's a Civil War musket, but either way, it's a weapon.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of equipment here. We've got the REM pod, we've got the K2 meter. One thing we've got the ball for vibrations. See if that goes off. And one thing we never use is the Ovilus.
Yeah.
It's just not our thing, and a lot of people have questioned that. So we have an Ovilus, and we'll try it, but
It's worth seeing what it can do, but I'm on the same page. I don't tend to subscribe to the fact that they're anything special.
well, the Ovilus, this device actually does multiple things. First off, we can do a thing that picks up energy. You can do, so the Ovilus, of course, is this, where it's just going to randomly say words through a dictionary. You can't see it, so Alice, and so forth.
British.
Okay, so that's one of the things this device does. Another thing is it picks up energy fluctuations. All right. Another thing it does is it draws pictures for you. It has a true or false meter, so it'll be like we'll have to play a game later. Like, what's a game for you? Truth or dare? All right. It has motion sensor, but we're touching this table and everything will make noise.
Yeah.
It also has phonetics, which not really sure how that one works. Proximity sensor. That's about it. So.
And I should mention, during this and the rest of our investigation, we have static cameras running in the cellar and also the attic.
Yep. So, and there's been a lot of deaths in this property. One being a 7-year-old girl,
Rosie.
Someone moved in 1900. She would be pregnant. It was a family of 3 at the time. She would have a little girl. The little girl passes away 7 years later. From what we have found, it just said that she died from high fever. Regardless, she passes at 7 years old.
and a husband and wife, but they died close in time, but at different periods.
Mm-hmm. But both in the house.
A gentleman moves in here with his wife, 2 kids. They were watched quite a bit because the constable was told that the husband was being aggressive with his wife. The man was an alcoholic. And so the constable would just pop in at any time to check on him. And he happened to pop in one day and he hears her making a noise like as she's hurt. And he comes in and she's actually at the bottom of the steps. We've got a big cut on her head. And then they go looking for him and he's out back here just skunked. And so they arrest him and he ends up doing about 2.5 years in jail. Well, in that 2.5 years, the mother, she passes away right up above us. About 4 or 5 months after that, he gets out, comes home. And about a month after he's home, it's kind of a little bit of shakiness behind saying that he died in his sleep. They're not 100% sure. There was some paperwork that said that things looked fishy. That was exact words.
There's also a gentleman, Tim, who died from a heart attack and was actually here for a few days before anybody found him.
Yeah, they at some point wondered, hey, where's Tim been? And they came here and checked, and actually right under where this table sits now, they found him. He died of a heart attack.
He didn't hear from Tim for a couple of days, and he comes in here to check on him, and he finds Tim right here where the table is, laying face down, and he had a heart attack, and it took him.
And there's also been people who've rented this house who've stayed for very short periods of time due to the activity.
So the most recent owner of the house bought it to be a rental, put tenants in here, and had a series of tenants that wouldn't stay more than a couple months. And they all cited the noises, the things they were seeing, the things they were hearing in the house for the reason for leaving and breaking the lease.
All right, so with all this stuff on the table, I feel we should probably turn on the REM pod. I could turn on the Ovilus to start off, see what happens. And again, We don't ever use an Ovilus, so don't hold it against us for trying this out, but a bunch of people are always saying, why don't you use the Ovilus? Well, this will probably explain why we don't use the Ovilus. So we have a bunch of devices on the table. There's a ball here. You just got to make it move. It should light up, letting us know. There's another device right here, which is called a K2 meter. It doesn't give off any heat, but if you come close, it should light up different colors. We have a REM pod. All you need to do is come put your hand near this. It'll let us know you're here. And we also have an Ovilus, which is a device that will speak words. So we'd really like to hear from you. Rosie, are you here? Tim, if you're here, can you talk to us? The Ovilus, it makes me wonder, does it go off due to vibrations or movement? Like, no. But if I move it? Saying anything right now.
Usually can't get those things to shut up.
I mean, earlier it was talking nonstop when we first turned it on. It liked the word placebo a lot.
Which is a very strange word
Yeah.
to be used in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, K2's going off.
Is it?
Yeah.
Placebo? Does that mean something to somebody
It's
here?
going off again.
Does the word placebo mean anything to anyone here?
Every time you say that, Jim.
Really?
Yeah. Say it again.
Does the word placebo mean anything to anyone here with us? Can someone tell us what the word placebo means in this context? The context of this house?
Rosie or Tim, if that was you making the device go off, can you do that again?
Really, it was. I can't see the light, so it was really jumping.
Yeah.
If we just lay it down, then the problem is the cameras might not be able to see it. I'll grab more than one. We've got a couple of them, so.
No, I said camera, didn't it? Doesn't look on the front of it. What's the word say?
No, it's a hammer.
Hammer?
Yeah.
But it sounds an awful lot like camera, which is what Jason just said.
All right. We will.
Because one of the things that we often think about these devices is listening to what we're saying and then just repeating some of the words.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to put this one here. If I can get it to stand up. Put this one here if I can get it to stand up. Here, there's another one. It matches it. There we go. Gale. And it was weird the way it said it.
Gale?
Yeah, but did you hear it? It's like
Gale. This one too.
All right, well, that one's going off. Is it picking me up as I'm walking towards it? Letter, creek, poverty. Yeah.
It's going off.
Both of them are.
Is it picking? Weeps. Like weeping. Hair, I have none. 5, the number 5. Just wondering if it's picking up through the proximity sensor. So. All right, so can you make this device talk more? Nana 5 hair. But just trying to see if it's not picking up when I'm going around it. Did you live in this house? Yeah.
I can't read it from here. What's the very top line doing?
Nana.
That says Nana
Yeah.
outside the box on the very top?
It says dictionary.
We know that the 12th North Carolina Artillery Regiment spent a great deal of time here. In fact, may have used this house as a headquarters for a while. And that some of the men in that unit actually walked into a trap very close by in the railroad cut and were slaughtered. Only a few made it back. Are you part of the 12th North Carolina Regiment?
Got it right here in my bag.
As you're moving.
Got it right here in my bag.
As you're moving. And if you were a smart programmer and wanted to make this thing seem a little more legitimate, you would have it set so that its response to movement isn't constant. It comes and goes. You know what I mean? It's not always actively looking for movement. And then when it does and you move, it responds.
Monument, planet, swim. You know what I need to do? In all seriousness, I need to pull my laptop out. I need to plug that USB into it, and I need to see are words programmed into this thing?
How
Can I get into it?
Yeah. Is there an SD card in there?
I mean, can I access the database? You know, because if I can access the database, I can see what's in it.
I'm going to play something. Let's see if this gets any response. All right, so no real noticeable response to the music.
No, but now this is going to shut off for a second while I do this. I think the internal battery's dead, so I want to plug it in here.
Do you see anything?
It says mount SD card, but it might only be a Windows-based setup because it says connected, but I don't see it. So you have a Windows machine.
Mm-hmm.
You have it in the car.
It's in the car. Let me get it.
Yeah. So everybody understands why we're doing this is because we want to get into the actual control center of this Ovilus and see if am I able to just change the words in there? Am I able to update the words? Am I able to change the settings? Because if so, that's a flawed system because it opens up so many cans of worms to be able to do this.
Get this pouring off here.
Warm piano jazz by the fireplace. That's what it is. Warm piano jazz by the fireplace.
And you know what's funny about that?
The hell you?
I was chatting at our last premiere on this, and after the premiere ended, that's what came up. Kind of weird.
All right, so we're plugged into your system, Jim.
Okay.
going to go into settings. I'm going to mount SD card. So what's this power button underneath?
Oh, there's something right there.
Oh, just got it to show up. All right, let's go and look at this thing.
Oh,
Look at that.
alarms.
English.
English 0 through something.
Can we double click on this thing?
Just do it right on the pad.
Oh,
And all MP3 files. If you double click on that, we should hear.
All right, so we're able to access the system. This is what we have. That K2 meter was just jumping.
I want to try something. Let's copy one of these files over to the desktop.
Okay.
And see if it's not trying to pull it through the USB if it plays better.
Yeah, that's right. It might be using that as a...
Okay, let's try this now. No. So what do you have to do? You have
There's a
something on the back?
switch on the bottom.
Oh, on the bottom.
On the bottom. And that is what makes it mountable. So right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Connected. And this doesn't show up. So it won't show up in the Mac, which is weird, but it shows up in yours. What's that?
I heard that. Like a female voice.
Yeah. What's that?
I heard that. Like a female voice.
Yeah. What's that?
Okay, so I just looked at this.
All right. What do we got?
And there is there's an audio signature here. So I'm not sure why we weren't hearing it, but if I can just export this file. Do you have a USB stick or something?
A USB stick to like what?
Like just a little memory stick, USB drive kind of thing.
All right. Eject, and I'll throw it over here.
Did you just knock?
Oh, that was a table.
Chair. Or table.
That's your phone. What am I doing? All right. I'm going to shut that thing off for a second. All right, it's down. All right, so let's see here. Allow.
Los cultivos.
Yeah.
So it's Spanish.
That one was
I mean,
Spanish.
yeah, that one's Spanish, which we knew.
Los cultivos.
The crops.
Crops.
So these are all words that are programmed in, and we could go and change this. We could make this whatever,
Yeah.
and then just upload it
Right.
as file 50540.
Yep.
So, I mean, and how many? Did we see how many words were in there?
It looked to me like there was probably 50 words per folder, and there were maybe 50 folders, maybe more.
Yeah. So, my gosh.
That's 2,500 words.
I mean, and what's the perimeter that makes it go off?
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing we didn't look at on your computer, and I think we should. Let's connect your computer to this again, and let's see what triggers the alarm. K2 is going crazy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, K2 is going crazy.
Nothing else is.
No. No, no other K2, just that one.
Oh, there it is.
There we are.
Was that
Yeah,
the switch?
all right. Yep. So go to the alarms.
Alarms is not accessible, file or corrupted or unreadable. Read only.
Logs, settings. I mean, we can go into the settings. Text doc. Audio volume 254, solutions, speed 29, sensitivities. So, I mean, we can change that because that's just a text thing. So proximity resolution is set to 3. It makes you wonder if we turned up proximity resolution to 10, would it be going crazy? All right, so we'll head out of that. But that's telling the device.
Right.
So the log should give like a breakdown of. So here we go. Here's the words. Look at this.
Placebo.
Words. So like if you, like if this thing, so let's see, if I was to, I don't want to disconnect you from this, but if we were to open this up now and see what it said, turn. So the word turn just came up.
I don't know if this will update in real time.
I don't know. You might need to close it and reopen.
I just reopened it.
Yeah, so if we went to the very bottom of the list, holy crap, look at this. Look at how many words have been said. Dash, so it hasn't updated it.
Hair, Nana, we heard these tonight.
Yeah, yep, five, Nana, hair, yeah, unholy, this is the
Swim.
order one, and yep.
Planet.
Scratch. So this is the end. So the first word it said was placebo in the beginning, but these are the words that we heard: weeps, hair, 5.
Unholy, we heard.
We heard Gale. We heard poverty. We heard creek.
Yeah. The only word we've gotten so far is turn. So this is the log of everything it's said to us. All right. So now let's see if we can open the alarms. And they might not let us in the alarms. That might be like they have to be able to, have their private settings because that would give away the information.
Mm.
Like what triggers the alarm.
I think this is kind of giving away the information already.
So all it takes is you. Oh, K2's going crazy. Oh, both of them. Yeah,
All 3 of them are going.
all 3.
But we also got 2 laptops over here.
I mean, this
Yeah,
one's
but it hasn't been
closed.
going constantly.
Yeah.
No,
True, and they all stop at the same time.
yeah,
Like they're all.
it's not me. See, it's not setting it off at all.
This is still doing what it was doing.
Yeah. So this is reading. So you see, yeah, see,
that's
that thing's going
spiking.
crazy. And this one's going back, and this one's even closer to the computer. So
That's right.
if it was a computer, that one would be going mad.
Right.
I mean, it's not like we're under a lamp or something that's generating electricity or other than this.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So if it's doing that, let's put this one down there, John. Put this one in the middle.
I don't know if we're going to get into this alarms folder. It's still spinning.
We'll give it a few seconds. I mean, it took like 30 seconds before the log one opened. That one's not going off down there, but does that middle one keep on still going?
They're all going off.
That one down there is?
It's intermittently going off, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this has got this thing all messed up right now.
Bell, Grandpa, rolled.
Total wreck. It's going like totally
Holy crap.
maxing right out.
And they were doing nothing for the longest time.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
All right, so they have it set so only they can see what's
get into
inside
it,
that folder.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting, though. We found all the words. We found the log.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I know that's probably seems long and drawn out for anybody who just watched all of this, but it means a lot. It's about trying to find out if the equipment's really working or if it's
Just a parlor trick.
And I've always said that I don't use the Ovilus because people could program the words into it. So we're trying to talk with anybody who's here.
I want to try something. If you can manipulate... What was that?
Heavy.
If you can manipulate the device that allows us to hear the word... Oops, sorry. That allows us to hear the words, please say the word banana.
That's your chord, right?
That's my chord.
Oh.
Thanks.
Yeah, so can you say the word, if you're in control of the words that come out of this device, can you say a specific word? Say the word banana?
Oh, got a K2 spike. Go ahead, say banana for us. Let us hear it through the device.
Maybe that's too big of a word. How about say the word Jim or James? So only the center K2 is going off right now.
They're
Oh,
they're all
they're all going off.
those two are going off.
Are these words too hard to say? If you can make the device say yes or no to answer us, are they too hard to say?
Are the devices on the table going off at all?
No, they're not.
All right, I was trying to see it. I wanted to see if a signal was coming through the floor, but
You getting anything down there?
no. Gale again.
Well, you're moving around again.
Yep. It's picking me up through its proximity. What is making those jump like that, though? Like this, even the one in my hand.
Is the proximity sensor active for 30 seconds, then not active for 30 seconds? That's why it works sometimes and not other times. You know what I mean? Just so it doesn't constantly go
All
off.
right, so we'll do this then.
You should try this, or one of us should try this. Stand where like you were, and every 10 seconds move in and out, and see at what point it talks, and then let's see if we can repeat that interval.
All right. Well, right now, you got to remember it's picking up all around us. So it's picking up you guys as well.
Right.
So if you move.
We won't move.
All right.
But whatever, every 10 seconds, what do you think? Every 10?
All right. So all John's got to do is tell me when it's 10. So
I'll stop you at 30. Stop at 10.
10? Nothing.
10.
Nothing.
10.
Nothing.
10. You should be doing this kind of the same movement.
Nothing.
10.
Nothing.
That's 50 seconds.
All right, now we're going to come to the 1 minute.
Yeah, 30.
10.
Oh, it's 1 minute to a mark.
And that's what it did before.
It's one
Yep.
minute to a mark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the K2s are going off like they are.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to have any correlation to what we're doing with the Ovilus.
All right, everybody just make sure your phones are off or whatever. I mean, just turn on airplane mode for a minute. Let's see what happens. All right. Yeah, see, roadway. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, so now turn off airplane mode. Yep, there we
it
go.
is.
I think it takes a minute to
My
kick
battery
in.
died.
What?
My battery died. Camera.
Oh, this one did too.
Oh, geez. And that's one of the things that they said, Andy said,
batteries would die.
batteries die fast. My camera's the only one still working
Wow.
for now. All
Both
right.
of these are dead.
All right. So I think airplane mode is creating I mean, our phones are setting this thing off. I'm turning off airplane mode.
Okay, we're back rolling here.
I think we were able to document the problems with the Ovilus.
Yeah, I think we were able to do that pretty well. We were able to demonstrate that the Ovilus is a manipulated device, human by human programming.
Now, there's going to be people out there who are going to get pissed off at us for doing this, but we're doing our due diligence.
We are. And if you use the Ovilus and you find it a worthwhile tool for what you do, more power to you.
And maybe there's times that it works, but I just mean we're able to get in and find all the programming for words. And explain to me this: how do you teach? And we can't get into the alarm settings, which makes me wonder, because of course we'd be. I mean, but we can get into some of the documents that would change the proximity, the frequency, and stuff like that. And explain to me, if you're using an Ovilus, how a ghost or a spirit understands to make that device, especially it goes from the 1800s or whatever, understands how to make that device say a certain word or do a certain thing to
do a certain thing to access a certain word that is within the database, because as we demonstrated, it didn't say banana.
Or to set the levels or the proximity at, to do something that would make that device say it.
And we also, I think we demonstrated, although it could use a little more experimentation, but for a minute, it didn't respond to your movement. And at a minute exactly, it started to respond again.
Yes.
As though there's some timing in the programming that turns it off for a little while and then brings it back on, so it's not constantly spitting words out.
All right. Well, I mean, we get random K2 hits here. We can isolate it a little bit by turning on airplane mode on all our phones, but it still happens. It just doesn't happen as often. Now, I mean, everybody's phones in LTE and stuff.
LTE?
Like 5G.
Mine's an airplane mode.
Okay, well,
Mine is not in airplane mode right now.
All right, I'm going to assume yours isn't in airplane mode now, John.
I just turned it back on.
Yeah, because K2s are going crazy.
They are. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna turn it back on airplane mode.
Boom.
That was something.
There it goes. Okay. So John and JV are upstairs.
The room right above us, I'm telling you, I think that is the one right above us. I've caught a lot of stuff there.
And I'm down here on the first floor, setting up a digital recorder. And this device right here is a motion sensor. It's made from our friend Steve Berry. I want to aim this towards the doorway and the staircase to see if it picks up anything. And it should pick up any motion within 16 feet. This one, I specifically wanted one that only lit up, that didn't make any noise. So we're going to turn that on. You guys can see how it lights up.
Okay, so JV and John, we had an incredible experience at our Oler House investigation, which happened to be the investigation before this investigation. I'm not sure if they'll air back to back, but as far as the sequence of our calendar, we did them back to back. And I would say it's probably one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had as an investigator.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Same here. That was unbelievable.
You and I were sitting in the third floor, which was essentially the attic, but it was a finished attic. And we were having normal conversations. We were hearing I think we heard a couple taps and a couple things. And then suddenly, this rapping, it sounded like somebody with their fists banging on a door to get out or get in. And it lasted for how long would you say?
5 to 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enough that we were hearing it. We were looking at each other, and we were both trying to comprehend what was happening to us at this moment.
I think like the things that go through your head with something like that: is somebody breaking in? Is there a problem? Is there an emergency? Is there something going on? Mm-hmm. And it takes a few seconds to register that. Wait a minute. None of those things are true. This is something very different. But to try to verify or try to maybe explain what was going on, we took off, looking for the source.
Right.
And what did we find?
Found nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. We basically ran down the stairs. We split up, and we circled the second floor, which there's no way that it was any further away than the second floor. I mean, It was very likely in the area that we were.
Right.
But I think, we had that area covered. We knew it wasn't there. There was nobody there with us, physically, anyway. But we thought there was a possibility, and it would have not surprised me to see a human being doing something downstairs right below us, because it was so incredibly loud and tense.
Not only would it have not surprised me, that's fully what I expected to find.
Yes.
I mean, we went down there thinking there's somebody here, but there wasn't. The only other person in the building was Jason, and he was 3-4 floors below us in the basement. And when we went back, and in the episode we do the same thing, we went back and traced the video from the point that we reconnect with Jason all the way back to when we had that experience to see where everybody was. Jason was in the basement, John and I were 3 floors up in the attic, and that thing happened. So, long story short here, Andy Andrews said he did an investigation here in which there was an echo of an investigation he had done the night before. An experience that he had the night before actually reoccurred here in this building, in this home.
I'm aiming it towards the doorway. There's nothing there. It's a wide open area. Let it calibrate. And the sensor is on this side. And it shoots out in about a 90-degree area. I got up to 16 feet.
So John and I thought, well, we had one of our greatest experiences ever. Let's see if this building will echo that. So that's what we're doing here now. I'm going to put a REM pod out just to give us another device to track.
And actually, if you call it JV, we had that REM pod.
You're right. That's right.
This was the device that we were using when this happened.
You're absolutely right. We did have it going.
So if there's anybody here, my name's Jason, and I was asked by some friends to come into this home and talk with whoever might be here. Now you're going to hear voices in the background. That's John and Jim. This house is just too small. There's nothing we can do about that. Nope. But that's the kind of stuff we want to listen for. But that's the kind of stuff we want to listen for. But that's the kind of stuff we want to listen for.
John and I spent some time in the Oler house not long ago, and we had an interaction from something, and we're hoping that that energy can present itself here and do something similar, if not exactly the same.
What was that?
What's that? Oh, what? I was talking, so you didn't really get...
It was
I heard
something moving or banging or something, but...
Claims supposedly there's a young girl around the age of 7 by the name of Rosie who passed away here, who a lot of people have had experiences with. There's also a gentleman by the name of Tim. Tim ended up passing away from a heart attack. He was here at this, right where this table is, for a few days before anybody found him.
We're hoping that that energy can present itself here again, do something similar, if not exactly the same, and let us know that you're here, and let us know that you have the ability to interact with us directly.
One couple where the wife died, she was found at the bottom of the stairs. I guess the husband was charged. Now, these are all things we need to go and document and make sure that it's historically accurate. But a woman was found at the bottom of the stairs. Her husband was charged, served time. Then when he got out, shortly after, he passed away in this house, as well as some others. So if any of those people are here with me, can you maybe walk by the table? I have a couple devices set up here. This device right here, I'll show you how it works. It doesn't emit any heat, but if you notice, it lights up. Now again, this doesn't get hot, but it'll allow us to know that you're here. It'll allow me to know that you're near me, and maybe even give us a way to communicate. It takes a few seconds and it'll shut off. All right. And there's also a device here on this side of the table, which hopefully can pick up your voice.
This is the Knoxlyn Ridge house, not connected to the Oler house in any way. But one of the things that we've theorized as best we can on this side of the veil is that there's a connection throughout the spirit world, and that maybe that energy can travel. And this house seems to have, in the past, been a conduit for that. So if there's any possibility of you presenting yourself to us the way you were presented to us at the Oler house, we'd like you to do that now for us, please. So John's taking the REM pod and he's moving it to Rosie's room, which is the room right next to us. And if Rosie can interact with it without us around, we'll hear that and we'll know. And maybe by us not being there, little Rosie won't be intimidated.
Not much going on down here.
Yeah, we didn't have much either.
Yeah, and it's so loud, like I can hear you guys.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so we're just wrapping the investigation here at the Knoxlyn Ridge house, just outside of Gettysburg. And it's been an interesting night. Has there been mind-blowing experiences? No, but there has been some voices that have come through, some movement. I think we're able to figure out some equipment. So we got to go through all the evidence and see what turns up and go from there. But all in all, I think it's been a good investigation, and I look forward to seeing if we caught any evidence.